The disappearance of Laci Peterson, the Christmas Eve mystery. It's Christmas Eve, a time for joy, family, and holiday magic. But in 2002, for one couple in Modesto, California, it became a day of darkness. A pregnant woman vanishes from her home. Her husband tells a story that doesn't quite add up, and a community's holiday turns into a hunt for answers. This is the disappearance of Laci Peterson, a mystery that gripped the nation and exposed the shadows in a seemingly perfect marriage. Welcome to Dark Truths, true crime stories, where we break down the timelines that change lives forever. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join us for a deep dive into Laci's last day, step by step, hour by hour. We'll unravel Scott's alibi, the chilling clues, and those tense first police interactions. What really happened to Laci and Connor? Let's find out. A Christmas Eve that would never end. It's Christmas Eve, 2002, a bright, cool morning in Modesto, California. While most families are wrapping presents and preparing dinner, one family celebration will never come. Laci Peterson, 8 months pregnant, vanishes without a trace. By nightfall, a missing persons case is underway, and by morning, the spotlight is already on one man, her husband, Scott Peterson. But what really happened that day? Let's walk through the timeline step by step. The Peterson home was decorated for the holidays, with a tree sparkling in the living room and plans for a family brunch the next day. Laci was excited, her mom, Sharon Rocha, said in a 2004 Dateline interview, talking about baking cookies and wrapping gifts. But as the sun set, hope turned to fear. The timeline of that day, from Laci's morning walk to Scott's fishing trip, the dog's discovery, and those first frantic calls, becomes a puzzle dissected for years. Was it a random crime or something closer to home? This story isn't just about a disappearance, it's about a community shattered, a family's endless grief, and the questions that linger. Have you ever had a holiday turn dark in an instant? Can you imagine a Christmas Eve becoming a mystery that grips the world? Let's walk through that fateful day together. The Peterson home that morning. Picture the Peterson home on Covina Avenue, a cozy 3-bedroom house decked out for Christmas. It's around 8 a.m. on December 24th, 2002, and Laci, glowing despite her advanced pregnancy, is starting her day. Scott later tells police he last saw her around 9:30 a.m., dressed in black maternity pants, a white shirt, and a long black jacket. According to his 2003 police interview, Laci was curled up on the couch, watching a Martha Stewart cooking show, chatting about baking gingerbread cookies for their family dinner. The house smelled of pine and cinnamon, a scene straight out of a holiday movie. Laci was the heart of the holidays. Her mom, Sharon Rocha, said in a 2004 Dateline interview, she'd been wrapping gifts, decorating the tree, and planning a big Christmas brunch with her family. But was everything as perfect as it seemed? Scott says he ate breakfast, kissed Laci goodbye, and headed out. Could there have been tension we didn't see? Was this morning the last normal moment in their lives? Sharon later recalled Laci's excitement for Connor's first Christmas, even though he wasn't born yet. The Petersons had so much to look forward to, but as Scott prepared to leave, did Laci feel a twinge of unease? Was the house too quiet, or was it just a holiday calm? Have you ever had a morning that felt ordinary but turned out to be anything but? Could this routine have hidden something sinister? What was really going on behind those closed doors? The neighbor's sighting. Around 10 a.m., a neighbor, Vivian Mitchell, claimed she saw Laci walking the family's golden retriever, Mackenzie, near La Loma Park, a favorite spot for their morning strolls. Laci was smiling, her maternity clothes loose, waving to passers-by. But another neighbor, Karen Servas, complicates the timeline. At 10:18 a.m., she finds Mackenzie wandering alone in the neighborhood, his leash still attached, a detail that sends chills later. These sightings, reported in a 2003 Modesto Bee article, become critical. Was Laci really walking Mackenzie at 10 o'clock, or was it earlier? Sharon Rocha told 2020 in 2005 that Laci loved those walks, staying active even in her third trimester. But the dog solo return raises questions. Was Laci taken during her walk? Did someone stage the scene? The leash was wet, suggesting a recent walk. But Mackenzie's return alone is eerie. Vivian's sighting was detailed. She remembered Laci's outfit, her friendly wave. But other neighbors contradicted it, saying they saw someone else. The confusion would fuel debates in court. Was this the last time Laci was seen alive? Can you picture a dog wandering alone, leash dragging? Have you ever seen something small that later felt huge? Could Mackenzie have been the first clue to Laci's fate? What's the story behind that wandering dog? Scott's stated plans. Scott tells police his original plan was to play golf, but the weather cool and foggy changed his mind. Instead, he decided to go fishing at Berkeley Marina, a 90-mile drive from Modesto. In his 2003 interview, he said it was a spontaneous choice, something to do on a quiet Christmas Eve. But investigators later found this odd, why drive so far for a short fishing trip when Laci was planning a family dinner? Scott's demeanor during this explanation, calm and precise, would raise eyebrows. Laci's stepdad, Ron Gransky, told Court TV in 2004 that Scott's sudden fishing plan didn't fit his usual holiday vibe. Was it really a last-minute decision or something more calculated? The marina was a place Scott knew well from his boating hobby, but on Christmas Eve, it seemed out of place. Sharon Rocha said in a 2005 ABC News interview that Laci was expecting Scott to be home early for holiday prep. The change in plans left her alone for hours. Was this the opportunity for foul play or just bad timing? Have you ever changed plans out of the blue? Could Scott's switch have hidden a darker motive? What's the truth behind that sudden choice? The warehouse stop. Around 9:30 a.m., Scott says he drove to his warehouse in Modesto, a storage space for his boat and fishing gear as part of his job at Trade Corp. He claims he checked emails, assembled a fishing rod, and hooked his 14-foot aluminum boat to his truck. Police later verified computer activity around 9:48 a.m. per 2003 report, but the timeline is tight, less than 30 minutes for all these tasks. The warehouse was just a few miles from home, giving Scott a small window to return if he wanted. No cameras or witnesses confirmed his actions there. Laci's brother, Brent Rocha, later told ABC News in 2005 that the warehouse stop seemed routine, but police wondered, did Scott load anything else into the truck? Was this stop part of a larger plan? The boat, newly purchased, will become a focal point in the investigation. Scott's co-worker said in a 2004 testimony that he often stopped at the warehouse, but on Christmas Eve, it felt unusual. Was this the moment the alibi began to form? Have you ever had a quick errand that became suspicious later? Could the warehouse have been more than a pit stop? What secrets might that stop hold? The drive to Berkeley. By 10:30 a.m., Scott's on the road to Berkeley Marina, a 90-mile trip that takes about 90 minutes in holiday traffic. Cell phone records later show pings moving west, but the exact route is unclear. Scott told police he listened to the radio, maybe stop for gas, just a regular drive. But why so far for a short fishing trip on Christmas Eve? Laci's sister, Amy Rocha, said in a 2004-2020 interview that Laci was expecting Scott to be home for holiday prep. The distance and timing didn't add up for her family. Was Scott really just heading to fish, or was this drive part of a larger plan? The foggy weather and empty roads would later be scrutinized for any stops. Brent Rocha told Dateline in 2004 that the family found the trip odd from the start. Was Scott buying time, or was it innocent? Can you imagine driving that far on a holiday? Could Scott's trip have been a cover? What's the story behind those 90 miles? The fishing trip. From noon to about 1:30 p.m., Scott says he's on the water, fishing in San Francisco Bay. The weather was choppy, visibility low, not ideal for a casual trip. He claims he tried for sturgeon but caught nothing, returning after 90 minutes. A call to Laci's voicemail at 2:15 p.m., saying he's heading home, supports his timeline. But police found no fish scales, no bait used, no signs of serious fishing. Sharon Rocha told Dr. Phil in 2017 that the trip seemed ridiculous for a family man on Christmas Eve. Was it a genuine outing or a staged alibi? The boat's size, 14 feet, made it unstable for bay fishing, experts said in a 2004 trial. The marina was quiet, but a witness recalled seeing a man like Scott. Was the trip too short to be real? Could 90 minutes on the water hide something darker? Have you ever had a hobby that didn't add up? What's the mystery of that fishing trip? The dog returns home alone. At 10:18 a.m., neighbor Karen Service finds Mackenzie wandering the neighborhood, leash dragging, no Laci in sight. She returns him to the Peterson backyard, assuming he slipped out. The leash is wet, suggesting a recent walk, but Mackenzie's return alone is eerie. Laci's car is still in the driveway, her purse inside. Sharon Rocha told Dateline in 2004, Laci would never leave Mackenzie like that. Was the dog a witness to something sinister? Police later tested the leash for fingerprints, finding none. The discovery fuels theories. Was Laci taken during her walk? Have you ever found a pet alone and felt uneasy? Could Mackenzie have seen Laci's fate? What's the story behind that leash? Scott's return home. At 4:30 p.m., Scott pulls into the driveway. The house is empty. Laci's car and purse still there, Mackenzie in the backyard. He assumes she's at her mom's, showers, eats pizza, does laundry actions that seem oddly casual. Police noted in a 2003 report. The house shows no struggle, but the mop is wet, suggesting Laci was cleaning. Was Scott surprised, or was this expected? Could his routine have been a cover? Have you ever come home to an eerie silence? What's the truth behind the empty home? Growing concern. Between 4:30 and 5:15 p.m., Scott's concern grows. He calls Laci's phone, no answer. He checks with friends, but no one's seen her. The Christmas brunch plans loom. Sharon Rocha later said in a 2005 ABC News interview that Scott's delay in calling her felt off. The holiday atmosphere makes the absence sharper. Was Scott hesitating or genuinely unsure? Have you ever waited too long to sound an alarm? Could Scott's delay have changed things? What's the psychology of waiting in crisis? First call to Sharon Rocha. At 5:15 p.m., Scott calls Sharon Rocha, asking, "Is Laci with you?" Sharon says no, her voice catching. Scott sounds calm, suggesting Laci's at a friend's. Sharon's heart sinks. She calls Ron Gransky, and they start checking. No one has seen Laci. Sharon later told 2020 in 2005 that this call was when everything changed. The family's panic begins. Could one call have sparked faster action? Have you had a call that turned your world upside down? What's the power of that first alert? Family mobilizes. From 5:15 to 5:47 p.m., the Rochas take action. Sharon calls friends. Ron drives the neighborhood, checking parks and stores. Laci's absence feels wrong. They urge Scott to call police, but he hesitates. Brent Rocha told Dateline in 2004 that the family's fear was instant. The holiday backdrop makes it surreal, lights twinkling, but panic rising. Have you rallied for a loved one in crisis? Could the family have pushed harder? What's the frenzy of those first minutes? Missing persons report filed. At 5:47 p.m., Sharon calls Modesto police, voice trembling. "My daughter is pregnant and missing." Because Laci is 8 months pregnant. Police act fast, unusual for an adult case. Officers are dispatched to Covina Avenue, and the missing persons case opens. Flyers with Laci's photo are prepared. The urgency is palpable. Per a 2003 Modesto Bee report, could the call have come sooner? Have you made a desperate call for help? What's the weight of that moment? Police arrive and question Scott. By 6 p.m., detectives, including Albrocchini, arrive. They question Scott about his day, the fishing trip, and Mackenzie. Scott shows them Laci's purse, keys, car still there. He's cooperative but calm, which Brocchini later called detached in 2004 testimony. The house is tidy, no signs of struggle. The first police contact sets the tone. Could Scott's calm have been a clue? Have you seen someone too composed in crisis? What's the psychology of staying cool? Initial search efforts. By 7 p.m., police, friends, and neighbors start searching. They check La Loma Park, nearby fields, and streets. The Rochas join, handing out flyers. No clues, no footprints, no witnesses. Ron Gransky told Court TV in 2004 that the search felt hopeless from the start. The night drags. Hope fades. Have you searched for someone missing? Could one detail have changed everything? What's the tension of those first hours? Scott's account of the day. Scott gives police a detailed timeline. Home until 9:30 a.m., warehouse, marina, back by 4:30 p.m. Detectives start verifying phone records, receipts, witnesses. The fishing trip raises questions, per a 2003 police report. Why so far? Why so short? Scott's precision feels rehearsed to some officers. The scrutiny begins. Could his story have held up? Have you had to explain your day under pressure? What's the truth in Scott's account? The holiday context. It's Christmas Eve, and Laci's disappearance hits Modesto hard. News crews arrive before midnight, broadcasting her photo. The story spreads fast. Per a 2003 San Francisco Chronicle report, the community rallies, but fear grows. The festive backdrop contrasts the tragedy. Have you seen a holiday turn tragic? Could the Christmas context have pushed police faster? What's the role of timing in a crisis? Early media pressure. Within a day, local media focus on Scott partly due to the husband always suspect pattern in domestic disappearances. News crews arrive before midnight, broadcasting Laci's photo. The story spreads fast. Per a 2003 San Francisco Chronicle report, the community rallies, but suspicion grows. The festive backdrop contrasts the tragedy. Have you seen a story blow up in the media? Could the pressure have cracked Scott's alibi? What's the role of media in a mystery? The quiet before the storm. By midnight, there are no leads. Search teams pause until dawn. Scott gives a brief statement to media. Calm and composed. No one knows the affair with Amber Frey, revealed weeks later, or the trial that will follow. The first hours are quiet, but a storm is coming. Sharon Rocha told Dr. Phil in 2017 that Christmas was frozen in time. Could those hours have changed the outcome? Have you felt the calm before a storm? What's the legacy of that Christmas Eve? The Christmas that froze in time. For Laci's family, Christmas 2002 would never be the same. The timeline of that day, Laci's walk, Scott's fishing, the dog's discovery, the frantic calls became a puzzle dissected for years, leading to Scott's conviction. But on that morning, hope lingered. Laci and Connor were out there, they prayed. This mystery reminds us how quickly joy can turn to sorrow. Thanks for joining us on this 3-hour journey through Laci's last day on Dark Truths, True Crime Stories. If this story touched you, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think happened to Laci? Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more true crime stories that keep you thinking. We've got more coming, so stay with us. Until next time, keep seeking the truth and cherish your loved ones.